welcome to another episode of the Capcom Podcast. I'm Cameron,
I'm Seb.
I'm Justy.
And hello, I'm Jack.
and we have another episode to get today. Happy 4th of July, or post 4th of July, I guess, my friends. Hope you guys celebrated a fun Independence Day. What'd you guys do over the past, I don't know, weekend? Or 2 weeks, whatever you guys want to start with.
Well, Cam, I watched the hit Marvel show Ironhearts.
Never heard of
I
it.
also went to a wedding where I was supposed to meet up with all my high school friends, but then no one showed up. And then it was Independence Day here, and fireworks went off, and it really scared my dog. So it's been it's it's been a crazy time over here. Please send help. All right, it's someone else's turn. Goodbye.
Justin
Fourth
logged
of,
off.
4th of July
They're
is a
like,
tough
"Nope, we're
time
done."
to schedule a wedding. I had to go to a wedding on New Year's Eve once.
Ooh,
Wasn't ideal.
I don't know why anyone would do that to themselves.
you
but-
ring in the new year with a marriage, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, but like no one's gonna show up because half of the people are gonna be at some other party.
It's a little selfish if we're being honest.
Also, hotels are expensive to pay. Doesn't matter the city actually.
Yeah, I
No,
think
it
it's
doesn't
everywhere.
matter. The whole thing is just a little bit selfish. We're making the whole year about you. Really?
Some
Really?
people had
Also,
like their
are
birthday
you
week.
marrying in the
people had their
last year or the
birthday
next
month.
year?
You
Are
know?
you saying the vows at midnight? Like, which year are you actually like marrying in?
Yeah, it was New Year's Eve, so they said the vows before. So at the end of the first year, but I'm pretty sure that they'd already said their vows previously.
So you
Like
didn't even
gotten
do the
married,
cool thing
like
and do
done
the
the whole thing.
vows
Like at
at
midnight?
midnight? That would be fun.
Yeah, that's
know?
not what
Because
happened.
like you have to like the priest has to say the like by this I commence you like blah, 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 thing so that they
For
finish
this, I
the
commence you.
what I don't know what the sentence is in English. I don't care. Like, but they have to say it so they finish the sentence at midnight. So like that the like snap second that it's like valid is midnight.
At least that's cool.
Wasted opportunity.
Very much.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm loving the energy or lack thereof this today.
Listen, it's been a busy 4th. I've been drinking, eating, not sleeping.
protesting, filming.
Quick throw in talking about drinking. And I'm going a bit ahead here. Seeing that the movie today is Ocean with David Attenborough. Jack, what is your podcast beverage of the day? Given that the title of the movie is Ocean.
Today is water. Today
And I was
today's
like,
water.
it's either going to be water or you're actually bringing some kind of cocktail recipe, and I'm kind of
Food
happy.
carousel and something.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
man,
like
that would have
a
been
swimmy
nice. Yeah, I
but
really
holding
should
it
have had a
differently.
whole fishbowl. Yeah, blue carousel.
Fishbowl would have been great. See?
Mosquitoes, some Swedish fish in there.
Ooh, yeah.
But
And
no, alas, today is water. I may never drink again.
How much did you drink on the 4th? That's the real question.
I mean,
well, and talking about Independence Day and Tito's, I have a funny story.
Oh no.
Because my workplace caters for the Berlin Berlin German American embassy each year, and we actually do that as like a charity thing. Yeah, there's more than one, as I've learned. And therefore they have a big celebration, and there's also lots of brands. There's a Jack Daniel's truck doing cocktails. There's a German beer company. There's Dunkin' Donuts serving coffee and donuts. McDonald's was there also like serving coffee and snacks, but no burgers and fries, which
What's
I
that?
find funny.
That's weird.
Five Guys was there serving hot dogs.
oh my god.
Another hotel was there doing barbecue. And
Did this already happen, or
it
is
was on the 30th actually, which I
30th.
find funny, but like I guess all the important people from the embassy fly to the States for 4th of July. So
Sure.
last year it was on the 27th, which I
That's-
find even more funny. But to come back to the point, there was a Tito stand that made cocktails. And while you can get normal Tito's bottles in Germany, there's not the variety that you'd find in American liquor stores. And they had a lot of huge bottles, like the big handles for Europeans. That's 1.75 liters, that you don't get in German stores at all.
Okay.
On the counter. And I was like at the end of the party when we were clearing off, I was like, hey, any chance I can get one of those handles? Like, I'll take an empty one if you have one. And they were like, no, here, take the full one. That's cool. And I was like, yay, because in Germany that would at least be like 100 euros.
They don't sell handles in Germany?
You can get a 1.7 liter bottle, like the standard small ones, like the regular sized like bottles, less than a liter, but like you can't get big handles. That's just such a big amount of booze. The standard bottles for Germany are like 1.7 liters to a liter, and then you sometimes for some brands
You're talking with Americans and you'd see it in freedom units.
Okay, then you can
About a half gallon is what he
yeah,
said.
and you can get giant 3 liter ones, like the double size of a handle, for like very weird reasons. But that's like the thing you would get at a club at a table when you order it with an ice bucket and thing, like being very festivity. But like that would be extreme. But yeah, handles aren't the thing in Europe.
Man, that's crazy. We basically went through a handle of Espolon, just me and my wife this weekend. So
Okay, now I know your sentiment, but yeah, I'm just now a happy owner of something I wouldn't be able to buy in Germany for
do
free.
they
That's
sell
fine.
30
I find that
racks
funny.
in Germany?
Usual German box of like beer bottles, like it's a plastic carriage thing, is 24 bottles at most. But if you
Not gonna
buy
get
like
it.
but if it's cans, then you can get 32.
Oh, a 32 rack.
Yeah.
Now you have my attention.
Justin, I hear just like, okay.
These
Your
numbers don't
conversation.
really mean a lot to me, but I like
But you can
You know
I'm
what
excited
number I
for the
really
enthusiasm involved, and I like when things have handles on them. So like,
But you
I'm
know what we
cheering you
don't
all
have a
on.
handle on?
our consumption of alcohol. That's why we don't do it, and that's why we drink more water. And
That-
you know also what number
Seb, you really like over-engineered this transition.
and you know also what kind of amount and number I like?
Oh no.
The amount of animals we have in the sea.
Again,
And these are sinking,
7.
and that's why it's important to talk
Yeah.
about nature and how we can save it. Hence, making a documentary about it, like David Attenborough did. Movie Ocean with David Attenborough. Guys, how did you like
Seb,
this
that was
movie?
a terrible transition.
This
You
I
rocks.
thought it was
overengineered
pretty
that
This
good.
is
transition.
awesome. Point for
That was pretty
Seb.
good.
I was like, you know, we don't have a
Point
handle on
for
our
Seb.
our ecosystem.
Give
the
him a
ocean.
point.
Seb
Give him
made
a
it on the-
point. I liked
Point to
it.
point.
Point to Justin for drinking water.
Yeah, I'm a waterer.
Yeah, water's
All
tight.
right, Justin.
Water's tight.
Talk to us about this movie.
Well, what we have in front of us is a little documentary narrated by the great David Attenborough from such things such as
Yeah.
Planet
Did his prep
Earth.
work. Did his
Sir
prep work.
David
Did
Frederick
their prep work.
Attenborough is a British broadcaster, biologist, natural historian, and writer, first becoming prominent as a host of Zoo Quest in
They
1954.
did their research ahead of time. Did not.
If I thought about this ahead of time, his Wikipedia sections include early life and family, early years at the BBC, BBC administration, life series, beyond life on Earth. Oh no, wait. Oh, that's the name of a thing. Like life is the name of a thing.
Thanks to Wikipedia, back to Justin at the studio.
Environmental advocacy and more.
Jeez.
So now we have a wonderful little documentary about the I mean it covers a lot, but it's it's life within the sea and how we as people interact with it, and it's sure it makes sure to present the beauty of the sea before showing all the things that we have taken away from that beauty. But plot twist, maybe even just spoiler warning here, there's still hope.
You really did save that. You really did save that at the end there. I do gotta say, Justin.
Kinda, yeah.
There's no saving here. All this was part of the plan. Like,
100%.
there's no element of this that I regret. Like
That you
we had
regret,
a bit in
I
there, but I
believe.
also
That you
did the
planned,
real thing. Like, it's all coming
Justin, that you
together.
regret, I don't doubt it. That you planned ahead of time, I don't think you planned
I
ahead of
didn't
time.
plan. No, I didn't plan anything ahead of time.
We loudly heard you typing on your computer while you
That's
Googled
part of
David
the bit.
Attenborough.
It's funny.
You gotta
Also, you
commit to
forgot
the
to
bit.
you
You
forgot
gotta
to
commit
mention
to the
this
bit.
movie was for his 90th anniversary, 90th birthday.
99.
99th or
Oh.
99th?
Yeah,
it's nearly 100.
that was my first note. Said David Attenborough, not just a voice anymore. Because I come from the
Huh?
planet I come from the planet Earth world where you never see Mr. Attenborough.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You just hear his voice.
Yeah, but wasn't he
Um,
also documentarian in his day?
I mean, yeah, he appeared in front of the camera a
Yeah,
few
but
times.
he also did like the research and stuff.
Yeah, of course. Like, and his last movie was basically about himself and his life and his like coming to terms with
Dying.
and like life being a thing that ends and yeah,
And then it didn't.
not yet.
just like
The
the
funniest
ocean.
thing today this morning, I was like googling his like googling his name, being like health state, like how is he doing? Like, can we make it controversial? Being like, this might be one of the last times we actually talk about him while he's still alive or something like that. But he's actually in very good health, and I'm very happy
Yeah,
about
the
that.
the dude is like doing really well for the fact that he's
Yeah.
99. Like
And I mean,
he's
even during the movie, I mean, you see him getting slightly worse. Like his eyes sometimes looks worse during the movie. Like he looks aging.
sure.
But like I mean, given. But I mean, he doesn't look that bad for someone nearly 100 years old.
No, he's doing all right over there. He's definitely doing all right over there. See now, once again, jammed myself up because again, I'm used to like planet Earth where everything's kind of a little upbeat. You know, there might be a little bit of like, oh, hey, this is happening, get you with a little bit of real world, but really it's just a lot of cool shots of nature and animals and things like that. This one took a turn fairly early where it starts off and it's all vibrant. You get this super cool shot with the dolphin, and you're kind of the dolphin swimming at you, and you're like, oh man, this is awesome. And then you get about 30 minutes in the film, and
And
it
it's
hits you.
gruesome.
It hits you with a little bit of real life. Gets a little depressing, a little
With the
quicker than I
fishing boats,
anticipated.
for example.
So yeah, that comes at you quick. But no, it was definitely good. It was definitely good, but at times, tough to watch.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely different from the Savannah Animal voiceovers by Snoop Dogg.
Yes, it certainly is. But there's definitely some images in the film that are impactful and lasting that I can still see when I close my eyes. So
But I said it before in our group chat, and I say it again. It's I wouldn't necessarily say that it will be his last movie, but he kind of made it be like, if this is gonna be my last movie, because I mean, to produce a documentary like that is a thing that takes at least 2
Yeah, but he
years.
didn't even produce this one. That's the whole.
No, I mean, but he worked on it with the team.
Sure, but he like from how I saw it, like based on the credits, he just was there to read the text and that was it. Like he didn't produce it, he didn't direct it, he did nothing on it.
I'm
Still,
sure
like,
he had a fair amount of input.
Sure, that's
yeah.
fair.
And still, like, but like, there, even though someone else produces a documentary, I mean, they might be producing one now that he can voice over,
I guess.
but like, doing a project like that takes at least a year, more like
At
2,
least, yeah.
because like capturing all the footage, making all that work, designing the text with it takes time. So the chances that there is another one coming is not that huge. I mean, I wish him to turn 110. I don't care, like as long as you can do without suffering any health issues. But like he chose this to like be his like a like the thing where he says like, yeah, if this is my last thing, this is what I want to tell the world.
This is his swan song, basically.
Yeah, and
Yeah, and
I just feel like
you can feel that.
after doing a lot of documentaries with different impacts, mostly nature related, but also sometimes more like cultural and whatever. I feel like if this is your final message, like it shows the impact that this like gives you. You don't talk about monkeys in the rainforest. You talk about the ocean, and I mean it is a very important topic. And
Yeah, for sure.
all the things that he tells, like, yeah, this is what we need to do. This is what we can do, and like also in the end, like saying, yeah, like hope is not lost, as Justin already said. Is like it shows you the issues, but it also tells you like even though it seems very much gone overboard, it's small things we can do that have a very big impact. And I feel like this goes for a lot of things. And if people would be this positive and like this transparent about issues more, I think a lot of people would reconsider the way they live and the way they interact with the world they
You
live
would
in.
hope, but
Again,
You
if
would hope.
actually just like 60% of population would live by these small changes, like it's a small change for everyone that makes a big
no,
change
I get
for the
that.
world.
I'm just saying, do I have hope in humanity to make those changes? I don't think so. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
Right, 'cause
Boo.
you'd think I'd never eat
Boo.
shrimp again after watching this, but I had shrimp yesterday, and I'd have them again. And I'd have them again today if they were put in
eating
front
what?
of me.
Shrimp.
Oh yeah.
Shrimp!
I was like, oh man, I probably shouldn't be eating shrimp anymore. This is crazy. And then I get to the cookout and they got shrimp skewers, and I said, well, let me get 2 of those.
So you had like
There's-
6 shrimp.
I mean, there's a
Oh,
simple
I had
choice.
well over 6. We're
Because the
talking
skewer has multiple shrimp.
Yeah,
right.
but
Each skewer probably had about 5 or 6.
Oh,
I had
okay.
2 of those. Put those down in no time. I would have had more, but the
I
shrimp.
mean, there's a
shrimp go-
simple choice to
shrimp
change
go
that.
quick.
There's a simple choice.
That's a fun fact. If you're ever at a cookout, you see the shrimp come off. You're gonna want to get them early. Shrimp go fast. There's always gonna be
There's-
another burger. There's always gonna be another dog. Shrimps run out.
John, there's a simple choice to change that. Have crawfish, because they're an invasive species living
Yes.
in rivers, so you don't have an issue.
Yes, I do. I do love a good crawdaddy. Anytime I'm at a what do they have 'em at the Chinese buffets? I get 2 plates of crawdaddies to start, and then after I have my 2 plates of crawdaddies, I go over and I have various meats, and then plate 4 is going to be, you go up to the hibachi guy and you have him whip you up some hibachi,
Right.
and then after that is really when you're going to hammer in your starches and you're going to get your egg rolls and things, and then,
Every
and then it's time
Chinese
for dessert.
person is very sad with you. First, it's hibachi. Second,
It's always
no
13.
starches at the
Always
buffet.
13. But
Well, not till the
No,
end. Not till the end.
Justin just saying yup as if they're agreeing with anything that was just said. I don't believe you
Also,
eat anything.
if
Well, you
anyone says
see,
crawdaddy
Cam,
once again,
in this case, I'm allergic to fish, so
Well,
Like
crawdaddies are more
shellfish or
bugs than
anything from the sea.
fish.
and
Scripps
shellfish,
too.
and
Scripps
I
is
mean, like
bugs.
are you fine with the octopodes?
Ooh, octopus is good. You guys ever had like a grilled octopus leg? They're fantastic.
I prefer
Have you ever had them like
sepia tubes, but sure.
Okay, I'm not gonna go into the comment that I was gonna make because we want to save the oceans, not kill them on this episode.
Well, in my defense, they were already
eating
dead
a
when I ate
whale.
them.
no, but
Some people do.
Some people do.
Don't eat whales, guys.
Well, I don't think I eat whale. I don't. Seems a little fatty.
What has this episode gone to?
Well, I'm telling you, like you think that the movie would have had more lasting impact, because I was like, oh yeah, shouldn't be eating
I
shrimp.
mean, we
That's
have to have
terrible,
some
the way
normal
they fall.
message. Don't eat whales is fine with me.
I can say I won't eat whales and dolphins for you, Cam. I promise.
That's
But baby seals are
Wait.
fine, right, John?
point for him.
Well, I don't really see them on the menu too often. I might have to try it if I saw it.
I think Alaska might serve you.
It's a little cold in Alaska.
Yeah,
Honestly, New
but there
Jersey
was,
is a
but
little
we did have
cold. It's
Alaska in
getting
this movie. We did
not
have
now,
the
but
Yeah,
Antarctic in
we
this
did.
film, where I believe we were talking about penguins.
yes, the
Penguins.
penguins fighting for the krill.
Penguins.
I
Penguins.
don't know.
There's
Penguins.
definitely a lot of really cool shots in the film.
Oh,
Whether
yeah.
or
Oh,
not
we're
they
gonna
have a
talk about the
lasting
movie
impact
again.
on me,
Is that
there's some
what's
Yeah,
really
I'm
happening?
cool
trying to
shots.
pivot. I'm trying to pivot back to the film. Like,
Right.
you know.
So what was
Yeah,
like?
well, the topic's getting
for-
old. Talking about getting old.
Let's
David
all go around the
Attenborough.
circle. What was everybody's most impactful image they saw on the screen during this film?
Oh, it was the boat.
Yeah.
Oh, in
boat.
Liberia when they're on the small boat and then the big boat just comes in front.
Yeah.
Mm,
No.
Well, no, the
When
boat.
fishing.
Yeah, the trawling across the ocean with the chains. That
I'm gonna
destroys
go
the
to spoilers real quick because I feel like that makes the most sense at the moment.
Spoilers for this movie is such a funny spoilers for you know,
Real life.
outside.
Yeah, for
like
real
like
life.
spoilers. Reality. Hey.
Oh, so you just mean when they're how did that boat let them like get their crew on there to film that? That was
Yeah.
wild to me.
Like, I mean, especially the ones where they like destroy nature. If I was the
Yeah.
company, I mean,
No
they
shot.
never tell the ship or the company. They just be like, yeah, well, that's what ships like that do.
Yeah.
But would I like to like
No.
put
I was
my
shocked.
industry into a bad spotlight?
No, but I feel
Right.
like,
No.
I feel like that's happening either way. Like, I feel like
Yeah, I
this
know.
isn't
I was
new.
just
I
surprised
mean, it
because
was hindering them, so yeah.
they show them like just like because they get the shrimps and all that, but then they basically kill everything else and they're destroying the reefs and all that, and it just doesn't seem like something you'd want to shine a light on your company with. So I was shocked they had a boat that even allowed them to come on and film. But
True
I
that.
guess you're getting government subsidies for it. You're not breaking any laws, so screw it.
Sure. I don't know.
I wonder how much they got paid for it.
I'm assuming enough.
Yeah.
Because here they are, but they're also still making money by destroying the planet.
And I mean, BBC
You know?
funds their productions pretty well.
That's true. BBC,
Mhm.
good place to make
Seb, what
documentaries.
was your most impactful image on the screen?
Again, I feel like it was when where the trawling boats like
Yeah, they had like the
killed
camera on the net.
either that or the pig with the ships in the Arctic with the penguins.
Yeah. Justin?
That was
I like when the dolphins
Penguins.
go squeak squeak squeak. I wrote that down.
What?
The dolphins make the most adorable squeak sounds. That's
I'm
all we're
gonna
getting
give
at here.
Justin a point
That was
for
my
that,
first like
because that made
positive
both
comment.
Jack and myself laugh.
That
I
was
mean,
the worst
listen.
dolphin
I
impression ever, Cameron.
It wasn't
Thank you,
about
thank you.
the accuracy
I
of
was
the
going
impression,
through it
was
while
the-
watching this movie because like constantly I'm like I just wasn't in the mindset to just focus. It was the first time in a long time that my attention span was really kicking my butt. But then the moment I saw dolphins and they were squeaking with this adorable little sound, brain's back in it. Brain is back in it, baby.
So like 3 minutes into the movie.
uh
I
closer
got
to 10, I feel like.
we got
Yeah.
a comment being like, Justin looks so sad. Come on, put some pip in your step.
So I
And
I'll
and they
try,
were
I'll try.
really
So-
sad.
sometimes
But
you get
now
a
that they're
little- get a
talking
little
about
lost.
dolphins and they're going squeak, 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 I feel like
Now we're talking about
the
it.
energy's coming back. So
Just
this
talking
comment
about
isn't even needed anymore.
I'm back
I
in,
mean, when it comes to
baby.
pizza, it's all about dolphins. No mushrooms, just dolphins.
But yeah, for me, it was either the image where it was the 3 lines that had the 3 dead sharks kind of staggered into the sea. So the one kind of dead shark was hanging right there, completely perpendicular, and then there was another one in the background, and then another one even further. And then the second one for me would have been that scene in Liberia when it was those 2 guys on their little fishing boat, and then it's panned in on them, and then out of nowhere this huge vessel just like completely blocks them from the screen.
Yeah,
That one was heavy, and then you see like because these boats they're pulling up all this stuff in the net, and then these 2 guys in Liberia pull up their net, and they got like a plastic bottle. I was like, oh man,
like the old school rowing boat wooden thing, like made out of one
Yup.
tree, and then
Yeah.
it's this giant industrial.
Oh man, and it just
Mega
comes
machine.
right in front of it,
Yeah.
like they're right next to him. That one was pretty heavy. And then especially when they pull in their line and it's just like, oh, they don't have shit.
I feel like that was an like a sound going through the audience moment in the movie hall as well.
Yeah, it's true. That our hall was packed.
Yeah, we
when we
were
saw it.
really booked, but I mean there were like 2 showings for it, if it even.
There were 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2.
So you
it
guys
was, like,
got a
on the day it
theatrical
came
release?
out.
Yeah, we saw it at release in was it
Yeah,
March?
Yeah,
Was
something
it?
like
Yeah,
that.
in March
We saw it
got
on
to see
release day, and then like there was like a second showing, both in OV though, and like there weren't even German showings. It was the
Was it but subtitle, I believe, right?
I don't actually remember, but like there were 2. Maybe it was
I believe it was
original
subtitled.
version with subtitles.
I
Yeah,
believe it
but
was subtitled.
there were 2,
Also,
and that was it. So like crazy.
Lillian is asking, aren't dolphins evil?
That's what they say.
No.
But I don't buy the
No,
propaganda.
only the ones in captivity in ocean parks, because they get very weird feelings to the humans that train them, but like
But how is that
wildlife ones
evil?
are actually pretty happy and helpful.
Yeah, they're cool.
I think
They're
the
really
propaganda
cool.
just stems from how they have the same little back thing that sharks do, and it's all downhill from there for the
Propaganda.
dolphin.
But to reassure Lillian,
reputation.
trigger warning here: there haven't been any assault cases with dolphins in wildlife situations, only water parks.
Mm.
Well, reported.
Okay.
So did anyone else see the turtles like crunching on that coral? Because that
So-
was
Lillian, as you might know, Seb and I are both in Germany at the moment.
Crazy.
I know, what a
Yeah.
concept. They did show it, but it was only a 2-night premiere thing, right?
It
was
was
like early March.
2 nights, yeah.
Otherwise, if you have not seen it yet, it is on Disney Plus, I believe, for you guys as well, right? It is on Disney
Correct.
Plus.
That's where I watched it.
VPN, BBC iPlayer with a with a hack.
Are you okay?
You can watch it on the
please
BBC
take care of
iPlayer
Seb.
if you happen to have a British TV license or a VPN with.
You don't. Yeah, I'm not going to comment on that. Yeah. Anyway,
It's not illegal if you have a TV license.
So yeah. Yeah, in our
That's
local
illegal, but trolling
UCI
is legal.
I believe they had it in Potsdam and in Berlin, right? They had it in both of the cities, but I think we watched it here in Potsdam, if I remember correctly. But yeah, so we had we saw it in theaters. I got to see it on the big screen. That was
pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I was very excited about that.
That is pretty cool.
That's
why
what
was nice to be able to pause it when it got really heavy at one point and like go take a
love-
break real quick, go to the
I loved your
bathroom, make
comment
myself a
being like-
snack. I was
Zach,
like,
I
oh
love your
boy.
comment being
gotta
like,
switch
"This is
modes."
why I don't watch documentaries because it's so deep and
Yes,
tough." And I'm
yes.
like,
Yes.
well, what do you want me to say, Jack?
I
Here's
just
the
love
thing.
living a
You didn't
blissful
see
ignorance.
Fire of Love either. You saw. This is the first documentary you've watched with us, and we've had
This
3
was the
documentaries. This is our 3rd documentary.
Yes.
Fair enough. The other one was about sushi, so
Jiro Dreams of Sushi, Fire of Love, which was not about sushi, by
I
the
wasn't
way.
there for that one, I guess.
And now this one.
So, I mean, I've been here for 2 out of the 3 documentaries, and we could also have the discussion of is there enough to talk about for the podcast ever? Like,
we're about halfway through our hour.
here's the thing: documentaries. My brain has trouble sitting through them, even if they're really well made, and then I have barely any notes aside from jokes that I make to myself. Like, I don't know who the narrator is, but I'm hoping he says something like, "I'm David Attenborough, voice of Porky Pig in Looney." Like,
Is he Porky
but,
Pig?
like that's the only way I can stay
No,
engaged is if I'm
He's not
finding
Porky
jokes for
Pig.
myself.
would've
Point
been
being,
Porky
and then I come to this and I'm like, I guess we'll talk about
The fish
the
dying.
dolphins and fishies having little nibbles of things.
I mean, you've just went to the Wikipedia. You can have looked up what like
I could have.
voiceover
That would
would be
have
done.
killed my joke, and I wouldn't have anything to keep me entertained anymore. But great,
let's talk
yeah.
about this
At least we know
ending.
facts. At least
Let's
facts
talk about
are
this
a thing.
ending.
Quick question here, because when we were in the cinema afterwards, they showed like a making of thing with answering more questions and giving more introspective into the whole thing, like even more information. When you watched that digitally online somewhere, was that also available, or was that maybe a cinema exclusive thing that might end up on the DVD or something?
Yeah, we didn't have like the Q&A part. on Disney. But now a lot of times on Disney they do the like the making of.
I knew it.
Yeah, I had to emphasize it. But they
And then I had to respond.
like
Okay.
I'm pretty
I
sure
had to.
like Justin said, they had like the making of Ironheart, which I'm skipping.
I'm not going to comment on seeing Marvel since we're going to talk about Marvel in 2 episodes. So,
Oh, that'll be a good one. And that's an in-person,
yeah,
more or less.
more or less. If you're joining, I don't know if you're joining us for that one.
I mean, I'm the only one not in the States, I guess.
Correct.
Oh well, yeah, but we're getting off track again. Coming back to Marvel's Ocean with David Attenborough.
Coming back to Marvel.
Something tells me I liked Ironheart a little bit more than someone else here.
I do.
Something
It was
ironed my heart and make it go flat. The
It was
dead fish in the
okay.
ocean.
Oh,
Good,
boy.
not great.
Can we talk about the ending of this documentary,
Yeah,
please,
please.
so that we can get back on track? It feels like I'm reeling in.
Yeah, there was a
everyone.
big reveal
Like
at
by
the
the
end
ending,
of
do you mean these
Ironheart. That
talking
was
about
crazy.
no kill zones?
No, the fact that I'm gonna ignore everything that was just said. I didn't actually hear what Jack said, but I only but the ending, how there is hope for the world, and we're all okay.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
rare
good. I'm glad
France
we're all
win.
okay.
A rare France win with their no kill zone in the Mediterranean.
Yeah.
Yeah, the French really don't win much, do they?
No, they snuck
All
in a
about
quick
passive
win.
France.
That's one of my notes. Rare French W.
I'm
no kill
inspired.
zone.
I'm gonna make my house a no-kill zone from now on.
I would say that as well, but like I said, I'm
Justin.
considering making like a shrimp scampi tonight.
Does that include the basement?
Such a weird. Is my house a no-kill zone including the basement,
What goes
or
on
is
in
that
your
a battle
basement?
royale zone?
I want
What?
to know more about this basement.
What? My secret basement? You're not supposed to tell anyone about that.
Oh, so it definitely
Well-
doesn't count then. He's just
well,
talking about the house proper, not the basement.
Um,
Once you're sub levels, anything goes.
well,
So one of my notes said that
I'm done with this. No.
I'm really excited
really
to
done. I
really
can't.
phone this next podcast in, but I can't exactly say that because I'm not doing it for the money. What would I be doing it for? But here we are having a lovely little podcast, and I'm glad this has brought us together. And now we're in agreement. No
I
murder.
I
from now
truly
on.
feel we've had some unhinged episodes in the past.
Okay, that's. Thank you for making that point, Cam. All right,
This is
moving
for
on.
sure one of the most unhinged episodes that I think we've done. And I think that even
because
tops
we're
the
not like going
just
down the list of and then this plot point happens and then this.
no, yeah,
Because
that
of
and
this
that
one,
beats
it's more
and that
like
beats
and then
the,
this fish happened and then this fish happened.
that beats the unhingedness of when Justin accidentally was alone on an episode because Anthony got kicked out.
I mean, I was nearly alone in an episode. And that was
Cameron, yeah, I know it's fun to say things, but in reality, that one was me alone screaming, whereas this one we're actually having a conversation. So, which is the more unhinged one? We're a little silly here, but
The only reason Justin is on this podcast. Oh, I love how this comment isn't. Nope. All right. The only reason I gotta move this. It's fine. Justin is on this pod. Why is this not
doesn't
moving?
matter.
Is on this podcast is because they need to show off this. They need to show off their nerdiness. No, that's not why they're on this podcast.
It's honestly for the looks. And the
Honestly, the reason why we keep inviting Justin onto this podcast is because he is the cute one.
it's also not an invitation. It's more
They
like
sure
a
do
necessity
be.
at this point.
Yeah.
He's the looks. You guys are the brains. I'm the wild card.
Ooh, the wild card.
No, you're the instigator.
Instigator, wild card, call it what you
I
will.
used to be the instigator. Like, remember those days?
Yeah, now you're the looks.
And then Jack
I'll
comes
take it.
with wild takes.
Right, the wild card.
Oh, so that reminds me, of a take. So because I wanted to mention this earlier. Here's one of my problems, right? Y'all mentioned earlier, how this is like perhaps the last David project, the big swan song.
Yeah.
But if I was that age, I would want to make sure that I have like constant projects going on to like keep me going, you know? I feel like at that point in your life, you need something that's like your responsibility, the thing getting you out of bed in the morning. And I hope he has other things going on after this
I'm
because like
assuming, but I think he's also on different how do I say? I feel like he's at a point where he's like, yeah, I'm gonna do what I want. Like, why would I care?
I mean, he's rich and famous enough for a while now that he can do and say what he wants. But like,
Right, he's gonna get any project that he wants, greenlit probably.
and I feel like
I,
with
I'm
his
I'm just hoping that
reach,
he's doing things.
yeah, I mean, like
You
I
with
would
the
know,
be
'cause
reach
if
of
tired.
I'm
his voice being such
2,000
a
years
thing.
old, and I say
Is he
that
working on a new project
respectfully,
actively?
I don't know
if you don't
actually.
have a thing going on, your brain's gonna be done, right?
Yeah,
That's how
probably.
I assume I'd be at that point in time. And I appreciate y'all actually responding to that instead of just I was actually in shock that I got normal tone answers in response to what I just said.
I think the reason why, especially for me, is like, oh, I've truly thought about if I am in my 80s, am I gonna continue making films? Like it's a stressful thing to be doing with life.
At
I
least
mean,
Yeah.
get your schedule filled up,
I wouldn't work
with
in
something.
culinary fields at 80.
No, I would continue to make films though at 80. I'd get on set in my
Yeah.
wheelchair. But I'm
Cameron,
100% expecting my legs to have fallen off at this point, basically, and I'm there
and I
in the
mean with
scooter,
the
like
Mine
rolling
is.
forward, being like, "Well, you see, actor, this is your motivation."
with the advances in tech and
Okay, Grandpa, time for bed.
AI and remote controlling, you'd be Cameron Xavier controlling
Hey,
the
how old?
camera
How
by
old
your
is
mind.
Spielberg? Is in his 80s. So is Scorsese, I think. Right? Can someone look this up for me?
They're getting up there. They're getting up there.
Hey, Martin Scorsese isn't like. Yeah, Scorsese's 82.
Yeah,
he looks it.
So says
But
he.
Like he was
Apologize.
he
absolutely
was
not.
at the Berlin Film
He's a
Festival
snob.
last year at 81 years old.
That's crazy.
Like the man is like just walking around and he doesn't look like he's 80 in his 80s. Like he's moving pretty well. The man moves.
Fit enough for Berkheim.
Seth Rogen, 94, looks great.
What?
I was surprised too. Yeah.
Anyway,
Spielberg made a pretty good movie about the ocean. It's called Jaws. If you've never seen it. Also,
Talking about good ocean movies.
it's also a
Finding
4th
Nemo.
of July film, and may have been more apt for this pod, if we're being honest, because it centers around the 4th of July.
maybe next year.
Maybe Rocky is another 4th of July film. Both fantastic in their own way. Both basically 5-star films, if we're being honest.
We really woke up over the course of this podcast, huh? We really
did wake up with the
we
course
really
of this
we
podcast.
really make each other better. That was another thing that I was thinking though. Like of
Also,
all,
great
we
movie about
we
the
already
ocean.
filmed
no.
the next
saw you.
episode. Yet we could have skipped today instead of that next episode if we thought that some July 4th craziness might
Well, yeah, if we
make us a
wanted
little
energy,
tired.
today would have been a good day to rest because I was up with the baby at 6. We took a walk with the baby and the dog, and then I was at the beach by 8. And I'm already back from the beach, and I can't wait to go lay down for like 5 minutes before my wife comes in and says, "Okay, your turn with the baby."
It's fun
That's
when
gonna be
the baby
really,
and
really fun for me.
Jack, does your baby like
Jaws.
Jaws.
No, I was gonna say nature documentaries because I mean like animals.
Oh, I bet Bo would have loved
Back
this
to the
movie.
topic, right? Yes.
Bo would have. I
No,
think Bo
she
liked
wasn't
this
very
film.
engaged during the film. I'm pretty sure she wanted us to put on Bluey and or Mickey Mouse Clubhouse instead, but I made her stick it out. Yeah, you know,
Wasn't
she
soothing
does have
enough
a
for her? I thought
she's
this.
got a
I think
bunch
I
of
felt.
dolphins and whales that she takes into the bath with her for tubby time. So
I almost
you
fell
know,
asleep during this movie. It was so soothing.
it was soothing, but it was also depressing.
Oh sure,
Like
but especially that
raking up
like I think it was
the
in that
coral
first
reef
like third
That
of the
floor.
wasn't
movie.
soothing. That just raked my heart.
That
What
was
did?
Just the trawling scenes.
Oh
that
no, I'm talking about the
is tough.
opening when we're looking at the beautiful ocean
Oh
and look
yeah,
at all
first
the
20 minutes are great.
yeah. It was very
Who
soothing.
doesn't love
There's
a
some great
troll?
shots. Like I said, the dolphins swimming at you when the camera's coming back, that's super sick.
We were debating if that was
I mean,
CGI or not.
with the first scenes of the dolphins, we were like, is that AI generated? That looks too
I know,
stunning,
it's
too
I was
crisp.
like, how do they film it? They have to have scuba gear and then like an
Yeah, but
Oh,
auto
they did, but
They
they
have to
showed
at
it
least
to
be
us
wearing
in the
Yeah, they
goggles or
shot.
showed it in the
something.
making of, and the thing is, it's not only. I mean, you can get good shots, but like that has to be the most perfect lighting for the whole thing to
It
work
was
out like that.
crazy. It was
Perfect
crazy. It was
water
crazy.
quality, perfect lighting, perfect scenario. I mean, that was
You're
just
right.
marvelous.
It looked fake because it was so cool.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what I mean.
Imagine
Like,
them
you take
setting up their
years
like light
making a
stands
documentary
under
like
the
that because
sea.
you
Like
need the footage, and getting
Yeah.
that footage is like, and I would use that as an opener because like it's in your
Such a
face,
stunning
like
image.
we got something.
Yeah, the seal swimming up through the kelp was another really cool
Yeah,
image they
that
got.
was such a cool thing with the kelps. Yeah,
Yeah, that was a really cool image.
they get the
Uh,
really tiny plankton in close up high quality. I'm like, whoa, this is the second 2025 movie I've seen with plankton. This is awesome.
Oh god.
I thought
What
there
was
was
a
an
more
actual
thorough
comment
explanation
coming.
of plankton as a character than this?
I thought there was an actual
But
comment
like
coming, and then
they
you
both have their strengths regarding plankton.
can't.
not to be confused with the career portal for OSHA jobs planked-in.
You didn't make that better.
No, not here to make it better.
Clearly not.
Yeah, it
I
was
feel
weird
like
that they included plankton and not the chum bucket though. Chum bucket.
Mm.
There's a chum bucket in Jaws.
After they raked up the coral floor, it kind of looked like the chum bucket. Does that count?
That's what I was gonna just say, but then I was like, yeah, I'll
can't.
Wait,
keep it.
are we saying Wait, Seb and I should both get a point for that. Actually,
I feel like yeah, because I'm in 13 points, and that's not good luck for the end of an episode.
I hate all of you. I need this podcast to end. This podcast.
wait, how
I
long
mean,
can we keep this podcast
there's gonna be
going?
another season.
Every 2 weeks, I start up the program for the podcast, and every 2 weeks I go, "Why did I ever start this podcast?"
I mean, it was literally your idea.
Which is why I'm asking myself, why did I do this to myself?
I think it's going well. Oh, that's a good girl.
Hi, Mia. This is Mia.
Oh, yeah.
Mia, look at say hi to the.
All right, we
Mia,
got.
have you ever been in the ocean?
She's
You
a
know
sea
what time
dog.
it is, guys?
Time
It's time to
to
rate
rate
That
movie.
We were somewhat on time this time. Yay!
Yay!
I gave this a 5 out of 5. It's a great movie. I love documentaries, and this one was a very well made one. So, no notes.
No notes.
No notes. I gotta also say, I have hella respect for people that make documentaries.
Yeah.
Those are not easy to do, and I feel they're harder to make than narrative pieces.
I mean, everyone can.
Because there's no amount of prep that you can do in a documentary to
I mean, you
get it to have a full story. You guys, like, when you make a documentary, you will start with one thing, and midway through, your whole topic will change because so much
This
has
started
happened.
as a movie about volcanoes, right? That's what I was looking up. And then
I
by
mean-
the end, they're like, "Wait, we have so much going on in the water, like plankton."
Justin, what would you rank this movie?
Well, glad you asked. So I first I was thinking like a 9, And then they very dramatically said the line, "This is the power of protection." And I giggled, so now it's a 30.
Out of what? We don't know.
I mean, it could have been much more, but protection helped.
Well, I've got it coming in at an 8 out of 10.
Cameron is drinking his water.
I got it coming in at an 8 out of 10. It's a 4-star movie. Some really cool shots, like we said, that dolphin shot where you see it and you're like, "Is that even real?"
So okay, please explain to me what could have made this film better.
Yes.
So again, not the biggest documentary guy.
Yeah,
that
but
doesn't
in my
mean that
blissful
the movie-
ignorance, and it's just I would have liked to see a little bit more happiness before we took that turn, because 30 minutes into the film, it starts to get real, and I hit pause, and I was like, "Oh, I still have an hour left. It's going to be depressing the whole time, isn't it?"
But it
And
wasn't. Like the last 30 minutes were.
It comes and goes in
Yeah, honestly.
they
waves.
show these like no kill zones, and it's like, yeah,
What do you mean?
there's
That's the
hope.
whole there's hope.
There's hope, but
Look
I'm
at the-
sure
look at the
as
Literally
strides.
it's 1/3 of it's going down the drain. It's 1/3 of like, but there are things being done against it. Maybe there's a solution. And the third,
You've ignored the first one. The first one is look at how beautiful this place is. Then it's look how
Yes.
terrible.
okay,
Look
then
how
there's
beautiful this
order.
place was.
It's nice. It's going down the drain. There's people trying to fight against it. Oh look, there's hope.
And I'm David Attenborough.
I don't know.
That's
It has to
such
be a
a-
real masterpiece to get 5 stars out of me, and
I felt it was a real masterpiece.
it wasn't for me.
Alright.
Did I enjoy it? Kinda. Would I watch it again? No.
We need to. You need
I-
to
I-
watch my favorite documentary of all time because I feel like you would really love it.
Supersize Me.
No.
So
What documentary is that?
Jiro Dreams of Sushi. It's about a 90-year-old
I know what it's
sushi
about.
maker,
I know what it's about.
and it is my favorite documentary of all time.
It's about the guy, he's the sushi master. His son has to take over his legacy. Will he do it? Can he uphold his father's legacy? Time will tell.
Sounds like
Probably
Karate
not.
Kid.
It does sound a lot like Karate
Even
Kid.
though it's very much nothing like Karate Kid. But okay, I digress. Seb, your rating.
Yeah, well, I really like the movie for like the ideal that it tries to portray. Like, if you can make one last movie show something that you want to let the world know, and I like the visuals a lot, and I feel like with documentaries, it's about the message you want to portray and about the topic, but also a lot about the visuals because like as Cameron said before, you don't write a script for a documentary. You have an idea and like a message that you want to portray, and then you go out and try to capture footage that helps you to aid that. But I mean, most of it goes to the voiceover and the narration that you put over these pictures. And I mean, if you want to show like a lion on the hunt, you film a lion on a hunt and then you say something about it. But when it comes to nature and the way, like, you need to show the bad and the good, and I feel like it did that very well. And
Yeah.
yeah, the ending was just nice, and I liked it a lot. It's not something I would see again and again. Maybe like if the purpose is there, like the topic relates to it, and the movie is a good thing to like show in that regard. But for the work that that guy did to it, and for the legacy that this guy has, because he's been doing it for ages, I'd give it a 99 out of 100.
Man,
It's a
some
great
liberal scores
Rating
getting tossed
system.
around today.
Also because he's a 99, hopefully turning 100.
Oh, well, that's fair. Okay, that's fair. I'll give you that.
I did really like this film. I know, Jack, you're not a documentarian connoisseur.
Doesn't do it for me.
We will get. I'm gonna give you another year, and then you're gonna show up into the episode with the beret, with your red wine, and be a whole like
we had red
art house
How-
esque human being that's like I would only watch it.
I feel
in
like we
the
had
small-
him sipping on red wine before.
Yes, but not.
That was my first episode.
but
and it
not
was
art
fantastic.
house. But
It was
not art
fantastic.
house.
But
Started
I'm
on
never
a high.
drinking again, actually, because I think I might be dying in real time.
Ooh.
I believe it when I see it.
Maybe
Let's
you
put it that
should
way.
film it and make a documentary.
That's what I'm saying.
Ooh.
I was gonna say, like, you
Do
may
you guys
not
want to
be a
watch me throw
documentary.
up blood? Come check it out.
We're at the part of the episode where we have nothing to talk about. So coming in clutch, Lillian asks if you guys were a fish, what type of fish would you guys be?
A dolphin.
Tiny, real.
It's a mammal.
Yeah, not a fish.
Not a fish, but
So
it does live in the ocean.
but that wasn't the question.
Still my answer.
I'm kind of about swordfish these days.
I was also gonna say swordfish.
Well, unfortunately, Justin said it first.
Fine.
No, Cam, you can get the
then I'll
swordfish
go with
because
salmon.
what I really
Salmon,
want.
like freaking rock.
You want to swim back to the place where you were born just to throw out your seed?
Cyclical animals. I love cyclical animals. Like go doing their whole truck.
Yeah,
It's
sick
like
little
the-
animals.
Cyclical, not sick.
No, I'm sick.
A sick
Because
little
maybe being a
animal. Yes, you
manta would
are.
be fun, you know?
Question there. Are tortoise fish?
No.
But
Are
what
what?
are they?
Tortoises are reptiles.
Even the water ones that don't,
Yeah. I don't think the water doesn't make them not a reptile.
like the ones with the fins, not the ones with the feet.
Yeah, but they both have exoskeletons.
Yeah.
So they're still
Then
I'm a turbot because they're tasty and they can hide in the sand, and I like that.
Classic turtle fish.
Turbot.
Oh.
If not a tortoise, I don't want to be a turtle. Like not the land version. I want to be a tortoise.
not a tortoise.
Yeah, the one with the one with fins, because those are cool. If not, then turbot. I might
Oh, you
end
think
up with
something's
someone's
funny?
plate, but honestly, if they find me delicious, I'm happy. I served a purpose.
Cameron thinks we don't have enough to talk about. Come on.
I know he's out of his mind. I could
Okay,
do this all day. Unfortunately, I
after
just
what
got the
guys-
text that my wife's on the way home with the baby, so I am once again
Run! Run!
Okay, after the question, what fish we'd be if we had a choice? What's your favorite fish to eat?
All right, I'm gonna start off here because I had sea bass over soba noodles the other day, and it was
Ooh.
the best thing I've ever had. There's purple soba noodles.
Why are we? Why? No,
And there was
wait,
so much
let's
flavor, but it wasn't
realize what
like
we're
saucy.
asking.
Like there's not like sauce dripping everywhere, and just a big old piece of sea bass. In fact, if we go out to dinner tonight, my wife's gonna want me to barbecue, but if we did go out to dinner, I would go to Seagrass and I would order the sea bass over soba noodles.
Question: would that be Chilean sea bass?
So I don't think it was Chilean sea bass.
Because I
But-
recently read an article about it that said Chilean sea bass isn't a thing. It's actually an invasive, cheap species called toothfish, which looks disgusting, is not very high of quality, but they renamed it to Chilean sea bass to market it nicer because it's sea bass now.
So
So
like white tuna.
Yeah, I
Kinda,
don't believe that it was. I don't believe that it was Chilean
Like,
sea bass. It was fantastic, however.
like tilapia.
No, as in like also white tuna. It's not actually tuna.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
an invasive
like, yeah.
species.
Just because you call it.
Justin doesn't eat fish, so there.
But
Yeah.
maybe I'd be a starfish. Moving on.
Well, I'm a sushi guy, so I love a classic salmon avocado or tuna avocado roll. So those are my picks for type of fish.
My favorite thing that I recently discovered is sea fleas. It's like it's kind of like a mix between a shrimp and a lobster thing, but it's like flat and smaller.
Justin has their hand up. They have a
Yeah, Justin.
Can fish love?
Yes, definitely.
Have you ever seen Finding Nemo? Of course, I can love.
No, but they
I'm
definitely
not a Finding Nemo
can.
expert,
There's
but
been
that's,
experiments
you
about that
know,
before.
it's
Like,
kind of
well,
fiction, so.
I don't know if it's love, but fish know and express attachment to specific other fishes. I don't know if that goes for all of them, but there are
What makes a
kinds of fish
fish
that
like
express that.
pretty? You know.
What makes a fish pretty?
Yeah, if I'm a fish, what makes another fish pretty?
I don't know, but I
fins that are
feel like
like
I read
above the
somewhere
ocean?
that fish don't see the ocean the same colors that we do. That may or
Okay.
may not be true,
I mean, we're gonna make a
but
documentary
it
out of
is my
this where we go
understanding.
insane in real
Mhm.
time. That's
That's okay. Rather go insane than die, which I may actually die.
okay. What is this with you? Like
And
not
embracing death. We're
drinking
a little
because you're
concerned for
dying.
you.
I
Like-
feel like he's more like dying because he's not drinking.
Yeah, I mean that's point number
Now
one.
that's a good. You bring up a good
Knowing you,
point.
Jack, that makes more sense.
Because they
Yeah.
staying hydrated is important as for fish. That's why they stay in the ocean.
Cause like I
That's
see you
in the ocean.
I've
That's why
seen
I
you-
drank a Pedialyte this morning on the beach next to the ocean.
with David Attenborough.
David Attenborough.
I would drink at the ocean with David Attenborough.
Oh, 100% I would too. That would be so much fun.
Hello, here is your beverage. I have brought us a fine beer.
All right. That being said, you guys,
This is Cameron.
I believe we've had an amazing episode.
I thought it was
Wow.
fantastic.
We had a blast. I mean, it got into its own, right? I think it started off slow, and we've kind of moved in. We kind of like revved up our gears.
So
You know,
when we
that being
upload it to
said,
YouTube, just
It
cut off
often
the
weighs
first
in and
40
out like the
minutes.
tide.
what'd you say, Justin?
When we upload it to YouTube, just cut off that first 40 minutes.
No, it wasn't like first.
Start at the
15.
point where we talk about what fish we are.
I'm a dolphin and I'm eating sea bass.
We have
Yeah,
all of our episodes are
that-
up on
that'd be a good
Spotify or
documentary.
wherever you watch your podcasts. They are downloadable as video podcasts. which is
And
super exciting.
Cameron, if people want to watch the movie that we're gonna watch next week, so they're all prepared, what would that be?
The episode coming up in 2 weeks, which was pre-recorded, by the way, was Red, White, and Royal Blue. Why we didn't swap those due to the title, I don't know, but this is
Because America.
what we did. So in 2 weeks, Red, White, and Royal Blue. But since we won't see you guys for that episode, since we will be a bunch of us, Justin, Anthony, who's not here, and myself, will all be on set for while that's premiering.
Oh no.
We will see you guys in 4 weeks when we watch Fantastic Four.
FF baby. So we'll be seeing it in theaters together, and it'll be an in-person podcast. That should be a good one.
It'll
That'd be
be
great.
very romantic.
You're not
so-
gonna want to miss that one. Me and
Yeah.
Justin are gonna be playing footsie under the table. You're not even gonna be able to tell.
Don't tell anyone this.
So
Cameron's gonna be
Uh,
so jealous.
Yeah.
I feel like my leg's gonna be between it. I'm gonna feel the footsie the whole time.
Wait, let's make sure Cameron's sitting in the middle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
that's
Cameron
probably
needs to be in the middle.
I
That's
think footsies are good when there's some challenge to it.
right. Yeah, for sure. You got to work for it.
What is this?
Cameron,
What is-
you say the goodbye things.
Yeah, well,
And for
to
the
end
sign
on a-
off.
To end on an important note, don't use plastic straws. That hurts the animals in the ocean. And to all the guys out there, if you could be a fish, be a seahorse, because that's the man getting the babies. So take some burden off the women and support them.
Okay, I'll be a seahorse.
I
Like if
really,
you
really
insist.
don't like paper straws, but it's fine.
We had very
Use
two
metal,
different
metal or
takeaways from
glass.
that.
Metal or glass.
Or get the
Should I
ones
keep
made
a
out
metal
of rice
straw on
starch.
me at all
They are actually
times?
pretty good.
What'd you say?
How am I just gonna keep a metal straw on me at all times?
I have a whole set of.
Get a box of
utensils in my
rigatoni
backpack all the time.
noodles.
That sounds even worse.
What?
I don't know. I think I'm just
Straws
gonna
are
keep
actually
going with the
pretty
plastic
delightful.
straws. When the billionaires and things stop using their private jets, I'll stop using plastic straws. Until then, everybody can kick rocks.
Take lower glasses and use half a plastic straw, so you get 2 uses out of 1.
I'll put that into consideration.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in 2 weeks. I'm Cameron.
And I'm
Yes, sir.
Jack.
If we start in one order, we should finish that same order. Seb went second, I went third.
Listen.
I'm Justy.
And
All right, and I'm gonna go head to the store, get some shrimps, throw them on the
we'll be
barbie.
all you'll see us in 2 weeks, and we'll see you in 4.
And do it like the ocean for the goodbye and wave.
Bye.